your girl Tamara. If you're new here, then welcome to the food family. If you're already a foodie, then welcome back. In today's video, we are going to make a curry chickpea with coconut milk, and we're serving that with naan bread. You could also serve it with basmati rice or whatever rice you like. Check out my video to see how I make my basmati rice. And this could be served as, I'm doing a vegetarian version, but you could also do a non-vegetarian version where you could use a little bit of chicken stock or beef stock to cook the chickpea. I did not use either. I just used the coconut cream or coconut milk really. So in today's video, we are going to make a simple dish. You know how sometimes you may feel for something vegetarian, but you can't bring yourself to make what it is or think about vegetarian because you'd be like, oh, vegetarian food's boring, but it's not. I'm gonna make a simple chickpea, curry chickpea, which is gonna be vegetarian. You could make it not vegetarian by using chicken stock or beef stock, but we're going vegetarian because we're using water, or you could use veg stock. Right now I don't have any veg stock, but I'm going to make some. I've been meaning to make some, but we're going to use water. So we need to flavor this chickpea because it tastes like nothing. I'm using the canned one, so it's already drained and washed. So chickpea, onion, celery, a little bit of carrot for color, obviously salt, pepper. We're going to use some bay leaf, some cardamom pods, some coriander, cumin, garlic of course, curry powder, like I mentioned, salt, fresh pepper like always, and we're gonna put a twist on this curry chickpea because we're gonna put some coconut milk in there. I'm using the Duns River brand. And let's get started. So we want to flavor this dish, and we're using a basic mirepoix, which is carrot, celery, and onions. You want to cut the celery, the onions, and the carrot uniform size, and pretty much smaller or the same size as the chickpea because you want everything to cook together. Or you don't want the celery to cook before the onions or before the carrots or anything. It might, and it really will cook before the carrots because they're tougher, but so that's why we're cutting the carrots as small as we possibly can without it getting lost in the mix. So that's it for the celery. We're going to do the same thing for the onions. We don't want big chunks of onions in because it doesn't taste really good if it's too chunky and if it's not cooked properly. So we're gonna call this small dice. That's it for the onions. Carrots the same. And the trimmings for the carrot, you could always save it for your stock, which I'm going to do for this dish. I already have some chicken stock going. Comment down below if you'd like to see me make chicken stock or beef stock or veg stock. For now, we're not making any stock. We're using water. Carrot, celery, onions, pretty much the same size. They'll cook. The onions and the celery will cook before the carrot, but that's okay. So that's it for carrots. I put a little bit more. And you don't have to cut the carrots as fancy as I'm trying to cut it. You can cut it as small as you can, obviously. It doesn't have to be like extra fancy, or not even fancy, but like restaurant style. I like to cut it that way because that's how I was trained. So that's why I do pot's already ready. It's warm or hot enough, so a little bit of oil. You don't want it to put too much. So we're just gonna sweat the vegetables off, get them a little bit softer. Once that's sweated out, we're just gonna add some salt also to get it going. Once that's sweated out, then we're gonna add our spices. I already have some chicken stock going, but I didn't show you from scratch, so I won't even bother to show you the method or the process. But if you want to see me do that, then I could do it. Just comment down below, let me know what you want me to do. We're not going to put the garlic in just yet either, because the garlic's sweet. And if you always wonder why garlic turns so brown or it burns so quick, it's because of the sugars in the garlic. So it will cook or start to burn before all the rest of your vegetables. So you want to put that in at the end, or almost the end of whatever you're sauteing or sweating off. So garlic's not in yet because I know it's gonna burn. I don't want it to burn because I don't want that bitter taste in my dish. So a little bit of pepper. Like I always say, fresh is best, so I always use fresh pepper. 100%, always. So it's going. We're gonna wait for a little bit, about 2-3 minutes to sweat it off. I'm going to put some thyme in because I put thyme in everything. I'm Jamaican, so that's how we do. You don't have to take it off the stem or the stalk. You can just use it as is, because you just want the flavor in, and leaving it on the stem, that will just be easier to pick out after. So about 2 minutes on this, on a medium heat maybe, and then we start adding our spices. So I'm adding the bay leaf and about 6 or so cardamom pods. If you forget what they look like this. I've mentioned that in my last video. Start adding my spices now. So I'm gonna add a little bit of cumin, a little bit of coriander, you don't want to go too much on these spices because they really won't mix. So just want a nice fragrance from it. I already had my salt. It might need some more salt though. I get my coconut. And I'm not going to use, I don't think I'm going to use the whole can, but we'll see. I'm going with my curry. A nice heaping spoonful. Dust. Saute. And if no one told you or you hadn't experienced this before, stay away from curry when you're wearing white or any light color, because that bad boy did not come out. So you want to cook the spices to bring out the flavors, and it smells better too when it's cooked out. It's not as potent, it just smells really good. So spices going. I like to saute my chickpea with the spices before I add my coconut milk. So I'm just gonna add that now. Like I mentioned, it might need a little bit more salt, but we'll see how that plays out. You could also add some kind of greenery to this. You could do spinach or you could do kale to make yourself feel a little bit more like, oh, I'm eating healthy, but it's up to you. You don't have to. I'm not going to. I was thinking about spinach or kale, but I didn't bother. So that's going. Coconut milk's gonna go in soon. I might add the salt. Oh, I forgot the garlic. I like garlic, so I'm adding a lot of garlic. So you want to cook that off a little bit. Milk. And I love coconut milk. I'm gonna just add the whole can because I want it to cook properly and then have sauce, so not dry. And we waste nothing, so we add a little bit of water to the can, wash that bad boy out to get the maximum amount of coconut milk out. Nothing to get waste over here, so. So I'm just gonna get this going. I'm gonna cover it, and then I'll see you when it's almost ready, and then we'll plate it together. So the cardamom pods or they will float to the top, so you want to pick those out because it's not very appetizing when you're biting on it. Also, you want to pick out the thyme. Pick the thyme out. And your bay leaf. You want to add also a little bit of lime juice or lemon juice. It just adds to the flavorings of everything, and it brings out the flavors also. So just a tad bit of lime juice or lemon juice, whatever acid you have. Sometimes you're tasting and you know it needs a little oomph, it needs a little love, it needs a little kiss of something, and it might be some kind of acid. So there it is, guys. Curd chickpea with coconut milk. It tastes good, it looks good, it's very creamy, you can tell. It's very rich, and the sauce is thick. You could serve this over plain basmati rice. Check out one of my videos for how I cook rice. You could also serve this with naan bread. It's nice and creamy. Tastes delicious. I didn't make it spicy as in hot spicy, but you could always add whatever spice you want. I'm just gonna plate it. And you could serve this, like I said, with rice, plain basmati rice, or whatever rice you like. Or you could do it with naan bread. I'm gonna do it with naan bread right now. Or if you don't want the carbs from this, then you don't have to have it with naan bread. You could just have it like it is. You could cut the bread however you want. So you could dip, so you could do triangles, so you could dip, or you could do strips if you want. And for garnish, we could do some shaved coconut or coconut. But yard people call it coconut. So we talk, you know, understand? It's called coconut. So I'm just gonna shave some. So you could use your peeler to shave the coconut for your liking. I like the fresh one because it tastes better. You could buy the pack one. That one's a little sweet, or sweeter than the actual fresh one. But like I say, fresh is best, yes? So for the garnish, you could just prop it on. And you could add a little bit of chili, like a red chili, depending on how spicy you want it. And have a way with it.